Hi everyone. Have you ever thought how the projects are prioritized? How your customers think of which projects to shelve and which ones they should put more money in? Let's learn about that in today's video. Hi, my name is Saurabh, and this is the YouTube channel where I'm attempting to help the newcomers in the space of IT services find themselves and build a strong career for the years to come. So, going back to the conversation, in any enterprise environment, budgets are drawn within the IT organization by the CIO and the finance department. You might be working with any customer. This could be a telecommunication project, this could be a customer based in healthcare, this could be a customer in the United States, Europe, or anywhere else in the world. There are a couple of fundamental principles at work when all of these companies or customers decide how should we allocate our money, where should the money go into, which projects to do and which projects to shelve. So there are three core buckets. The number one bucket is we call, and this is a phrase within the IT industry itself, it's called keeping the lights on projects. So these are projects which basically are essential, like the name says, essential for a company to continue working. So think of the service desk type of activities, think of support activities, think of some of the applications which they need to support, need to continue to provide patching, make small edits. These are their bread and butter businesses. So for example, if you think of our telecommunication business, they have to support their stores, they have to support the call centers which are basically taking up all the calls from customers across. They have to support their e-commerce initiatives. So there is a very bare minimal set in an IT stack which needs to continue running irrespective what happens. So that's called the keeping the lighthouse, keeping the lights on type of projects. The second projects are transformation category projects, which have been in-flight projects. By in-flight, we mean these are projects which are not starting new, these have been running now for a while. These could belong to several areas. We could be talking about cloud, we could be talking about data, it could be around a new program which is to be implemented, new software to be implemented. So these are all falling within the realm of initiatives which are already in flight. Typically, these are initiatives where the company decided maybe in the previous fiscal year or before that, and their return on investment and their business case was set up, and these projects are happening. The third category of projects are new initiatives. So every year in the CIO's organization, typically new projects will start coming ground up. Sometimes the business makes recommendation on what projects they like to do and they can see value in improvements. Sometimes the IT within itself identifies that they need either certain softwares or they need certain applications or they need certain capabilities. So those are all in all, those are the three categories of projects you will see your customer working on or categorizing all your projects into. So now that we understand the type of projects, this still doesn't tell us which projects are going to get approved, which are going to be taking place this year, which new projects should you expect coming your way. So what typically businesses look at is what I call as the golden triangle. So there are three approaches or three questions businesses and CIOs organizations and CFOs organization will ask to qualify and judge these projects. Number one is, will this save them time or will it increase their productivity? So projects which typically you've seen projects where there is a business process drawn and the new project is supposed to reduce that business process time or number of steps what it takes. So for example, today the service desk team monitors an application, or there is an application support team which is monitoring a service which is a critical service. Once that service goes down, there is an alert which is sent out and the service team comes in and then starts looking at what happened, what went wrong, etc., etc. Now a new project is coming in where it is going to get rid of alerting Instead, it is going to work on remediating the service which went down, and it's actually supposed to reduce the overall downtime from, say, 2 hours to 15 minutes. This is a clear case of a service which is going to be saving them time. This is a huge use case for them. Second type of lens is this going to save them money, or is it going to add or increase revenue on the project? So IT projects typically would look at continuous efforts on how can they save money, how can they reduce their costs, operating costs, and secondly, look at projects which are interesting enough or strategic enough, which can add additional revenue to their bottom line. So think of adding new products. Companies could go on and sell new products. Companies could be looking at a data lake type of an initiative where the business owner says, hey, look, with this we would make better decisions and we would save money, and plus we will add X dollars of revenue every year. Those are the type of projects which are, one, saving money, second, also adding money and making the decision making faster. The third angle of this triangle is it improving the customer experience? By customer experience, I generally don't think of an external customer. I can also consider the internal customer, which is basically the employee of the organization. So is it improving the experience of the customer? Are you building something which is actually going to, even though it may not save time or it may not save you money in terms of operations, it may make your end customer, this is a request which has come directly from the customer through different surveys and feedbacks, and this is something which your customers want. This will improve their experience of working with your brand. If that is the case, that is highly appreciated. That's a great lens to look at. Similarly, is this initiative going to improve the quality and the life of your employees? Is it going to make them smarter? Is this going to be a helpful tool in their training? Things like knowledge management, while they may take a lot more investment and time to implement, can improve the capabilities of how your employees respond to requests, right? How the policies are spread to people and how they can look at all of this collective knowledge which is building within the organization. So just to reiterate, so 3 types of projects. We looked at keeping the lights on type of projects. We also looked at projects which are in flight, but they are strategic in nature or transformational in nature. And third are the projects which are coming from, they're coming into the pool of new projects which have to be approved or either deprioritized or pushed down the list. Similarly, the lenses through which an organization is going to be looking at return on investment is going to be whether they will save them time and money, or whether they will increase revenue for them or increase productivity, or will this improve the customer experience, either internal or internal. Having said that, eventually how the decision making happens is where the mating of these 2 factors comes together, where companies look at, hey, look, all the keeping the lights on projects, let us see if we can optimize these further, which typically means if a vendor is working on it, can they optimize the cost with this vendor? Can they use automation to drive the costs down of the projects? The CIOs and the leaders know that these projects are really important for them, to their business to run. The second category of projects we talked about was transformational in-flight projects. There, the decision making typically happens based on whether are they already driving value? Are they already driving towards the purpose? Have they already shown the return on investment on this? Or how strong the stakeholder feels about the success of these projects? So based on that, these projects, sometimes it's not a surprise to see some of the in-flight projects also shelved. If this happens, you should find out and understand that either the value which was committed by the stakeholder was not met, and then somebody decides to not sink in more money into the projects like that. And then third, projects which are new initiative projects, those are the most interesting ones. I would think that there are about 4 or 5 different criterias to consider when it comes to evaluating and deciding on these new projects. So obviously the number one is, what is the strategic importance of the project? If you're looking to implement a generative AI related project, or somebody says, hey, let's go ahead, implement Microsoft's Copilot, the number one question should be, what is the strategic importance of the project? Second question typically to ask would be, who is the stakeholder who is proposing this project and who is going to ready to pay for this project? Very, very important. Third is the return on investment. Typically, and I'll talk about this in a different video, but typically a business case is drawn for these conversations. So it would be interesting to see the strategic importance and the business value associated to this project, and the stakeholder obviously who's backing up this project. Based on this, the list of new projects is typically prioritized. They find out which projects are highest on the list, which have highest return on investment and highest strategic importance as well. Obviously in IT, projects which come directly from business or customers of high importance, of business importance, are given the priority. But yeah, that's about it. I hope this was useful. This is just a high-level overview of how enterprises and customers decide on projects and how do they fund these projects. If you found these helpful, like this video, and if you have any questions, if you're working with a customer and have some question around the decision making happening within your organization, write to me in the comments, or you have my email ID on my profile, quitefar@gmail.com, and happy to help you on those. Thanks so much. Bye.